Hey Taurus, welcome to your reading. So, just a reminder of the way that I read. I read energy, not gender. That means that anyone can come up as a king, queen, knight, page, prince, princess, emperor, empress. It just depends on the energy that you're operating from. If you are in a more masculine energy, which is the sort of energy that takes action, then you may come, you could be a very feminine female and still come up as a king. If you are a man that, say you have a new baby and you're operating from, more nurturing sort of energy, then you might come up as a queen. It doesn't happen a lot, but just know if you're like, no, I think I'm the other person, you might be. You might be. It has nothing to do with sexual preferences, who you are, how masculine or feminine you are as a general rule. It's just the energy that you're operating from as it pertains to this reading. Energy is fluid. That means that it can kind of go back and forth, especially in a general reading. So, so you can listen for that, and if you feel it kind of fluctuating, that's what's happening. Not everything. If this resonates with you, there might be parts that don't. That just means it's for somebody else. It's not for you. If the reading doesn't resonate for you, don't try to make it fit. You'll know if it's for you or if it's not. If it's not, just come back for the next reading, and hopefully there'll be messages there for you. I'll read this as a love story. Well, I don't know if this is going to come out as a love story right now or not, but if it comes out as a love story, I'll read it that way. Right now it's showing a lot of healing. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has to pertain to love. It can be in regards to family relationships, relationships with friends, co-workers, career issues, contracts, business dealings, real estate. It can come out all different ways for people. And this is the first part of the reading. There'll be an extended version of the reading where I will clarify on the energies that we read and get into more detail about exactly what's happened there. If you would like to join me for the extended reading, you can do so by clicking on the Vimeo link that's in the description box below if you're watching this on YouTube. And if this reading resonates with you and you'd like to schedule a personal reading, I would love to work with you. You can click on the link to my website, This Little Light Healing. And when you click on the reading that you would like, as you go through checkout, it'll take you to an app that lets you schedule the time for your reading. All right, so with all that said, let's go ahead and get into your energy, Taurus. It's actually a very beautiful reading, a very beautiful energy that I've got. The oracle, the energy oracle's already laid out. Spirit, can we please get how Taurus is feeling about the situation? How Taurus is feeling about the situation, please. So it looks like you're coming into like it may have been an emotional time for you recently. It looks like you're coming in to a lot of can I get the situation? Spirit, if we have the situation for Taurus. It looks like this last little while may have been emotional for you. You may have been coming into a lot of understanding about things that have happened in your life and kind of understanding more why they had to happen, even if they were painful. It looks like it's been a time of great healing for you. I think many of you are still in that process where you're sort of, I describe this process like if you imagine the giant on Gulliver's Island when he was pinned down by all the little people and they kept him, they had all those cords that were all over him. And from the time that we're young, all these, different people, oftentimes it can be our parents or our family of origin where, they put all these cords around us that just kind of keep us, tied down, keep us small, keep us confused, keep us, and they don't all do it intentionally. It's a lot of times the way that we perceive a situation, a lot of times the way that we perceive things can be wrong or it can be very intentional. But I'm not trying to cast blame on anyone for doing it. It's just something that happens. But all these cords that are put around you that affect the decisions that you make. If you can only move just a little bit, well, you know, then the choices that you can make are pretty limited. And I feel like what's been happening, and you've had a lot of angelic help. I think you have spirit guides around you, angels around you, ancestors around you that are helping you start to release those cords, to understand, you know, I don't need this cord. I'm going to take this one off. And then you're a little bit looser, you know, and then you're like, I don't think I need that one either. And you keep doing it and you keep doing it. And you're beginning to understand, can I get more about the situation, please? And you're beginning to understand why those things had to happen. You know, every hard thing, every trial, every pain, all of it has purpose for us. And every time you can look back and reflect on that time in your life, you know, even if it's painful to do so, there's always like a little puzzle piece for you to find and pick up and take with you. And when you've collected enough of those puzzle pieces, then you can start putting your puzzle together and understand why you've had the trials that you've had in your life, why you've had those hardships, why you had to learn that lesson, and start to see, yeah, that was hard, I had to learn that lesson, but it served me well here, here, and here after that happened. And I think that you're starting to realize that you're starting to see that everything that's ever broken your heart, there was a lesson to learn there. And that you're starting to understand that. And that the more that you understand that, the more spiritual you're becoming. There may be someone named Mike or Michael that's involved in your situation. The name Ari. More and more, you're surrounding yourself with people who are good for you. You're understanding the importance of surrounding yourself with good people. And the more that you do that, the more in touch with your own emotions you're becoming, and the more stable you're becoming. I mean, there's just so much that's here about balance. Especially as it pertains to relationships. So, you know, it's always important to have balanced relationships where you give as much as you take and you take as much as you give. And some of you may have been on either side of that. You may have taken too much in the past and realized that hasn't served you well. Or you may have given too much and realized that also didn't serve you well. You really do need to be very careful that relationships are balanced. I also see where a lot of you are learning how to balance your masculine and feminine energies, which is very important. Some of us are very, very masculine by nature. Others are very feminine. If you pull up your birth chart on Astro Cafe and scroll down a little bit, it will show how balanced they are. Like mine are actually very well balanced, so I can move kind of back and forth very well between the energies. I have 5 and 5, but I know somebody that has 9 masculine and 1 feminine, and getting in touch with emotions for them is very, very difficult. Not that you can't overcome it, not that you can't learn how to do it, but it's definitely a challenge. But as you do this, as you're bringing your masculine and feminine energies more into balance, that you're finding that you're more and more intuitive all the time, and that you're able to manifest the things into your life that you want to do that. And you're beginning to see that things that might have seemed like a loss in the past, or conflict, or when things didn't go your way, that they were actually just teaching you the lessons that you need so you can be even better than you imagined, I think. Many of you are becoming much more spiritual than you have been in the past, and you really are learning to master your mind And mastering your mind is just thinking very positively all the time. We don't think about the things that we don't want. We think about the things we do want. And that's how you manifest, just by staying in that high vibrational frame of mind all the time. So that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the tarot. I've already got a couple of cards that have fallen out. The first card that came out, I asked what was your feeling about the situation concerning, or the situation that this reading is going to be about. And the card that I got for you is Judgment. So this is Scorpio energy. And Judgment sometimes can mean a reconciliation in a relationship. Other times it can just mean that you've made a decision about something, or you've had an epiphany about something. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting, is that you've had sort of an epiphany about this situation. And then in this situation, after all that beautiful energy in the first part of the reading, for the situation we get Tower and which is also Scorpio energy, so you might be dealing with a Scorpio here, or you might have it in your chart also, and the Five of Wands. So this epiphany is about conflict. So let's see if we can get another card to go with that, please. Can I get another card for the situation to go with Tower and the Five of Wands? This Tower can be a realization. It might be where you're realizing something about conflict in your life, or you're realizing something about conflict you've created, conflict that another person has created. Can I get another card to go? The Five of Wands and the Tower, please. Yep. Oh, and the Devil. Dang. Okay, so this is Capricorn energy. Doesn't mean the Capricorns are the devil. This is a realization about toxic behaviors that have brought conflict into your life. And that can be anything from, I'm getting another message too, you know, drinking too much, eating too much, you know, drugs, you know, being addicted to pornography, spending too much money, whatever it is that's toxic, that's created conflict in your life. What I got right after that initial thought of the obvious, and I'm thinking that this is probably the more accurate situation, is the Devil is also about, well, it's about addiction. We just talked about that. But you're realizing that you're addicted to drama, that you don't know how to thrive in an environment that isn't chaotic. You can. Very well. Here's the obstacle concerning the situation. So this really is just you understanding that. You're coming into this understanding of like, dang, I create a lot of, you know, or I feel more comfortable in chaotic situations. What is the obstacle concerning the situation for Taurus, please? The good news is, remember when in the energy of the reading, it's all, I mean, it was literally completely about healing. It was about bringing balance to relationships, stability. So we're just realizing what you've realized too. We're seeing here what you've realized is that you have an addiction to chaotic situations, that you really don't know how to and it may have been that you grew up, you know, in a very chaotic sort of household. And what we do, you know, for a couple of reasons. One, that's what's familiar to us. So we're going to go try to recreate what's familiar to us. So that's one part of it. But also we come into adulthood and recreate these traumas from our childhood so that we can heal it. So we've got the King of Cups, which I feel like is your energy. It's Scorpio energy, Pisces, Cancer too, it can be. The Sun, and then Ten of Cups in reverse. So the King of Cups is a masculine energy that's very emotionally mature. He can recognize his emotions, he can temper his emotions, he can acknowledge his emotions, he can express his emotions. I mean, he's pretty dreamy. And then we have the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. It's Leo energy and it's Gemini energy. A lot of you might have Gemini energy just because you're so close to it. And then the Ten of Cups in reverse. So the way that I'm reading in this is that the obstacle is this king knows what he wants and what makes him happy, but he doesn't have it. So let's use the Kipper deck and find out why. Okay. Please clarify on the King of Cups, the Sun, and the Ten of Cups. If this Sun card is representing a person, this person seems sort of oblivious. Or like they just sort of surrendered to whatever's happening. Tell me why this King of Cups doesn't have what makes him happy. He knows what it is. Tell me why this King of Cups doesn't have what makes him happy. I definitely think that for a lot of you, this is a person. It could be a career, it could be, a business deal, it could be a lot of things. But I think for a lot of you, it's a person, and this person is just very kind of go with the flow, like in a happy sort of way. Not that they're a pushover or anything, but like they go out there, put their intention out into the world, and then they just flow with what happens. They don't really try to control anything other than what they can personally control, and they know how to be happy. This King of Cups knows how to be happy too, but there's a certain level of admiration that he has for this Sun person's nature, for their nature, their happy nature. Tell me why this King of Cups doesn't have what he knows what makes him happy, but why doesn't he have it? You don't want to know? Relax, Taurus. Why doesn't this King of Cups have what makes him happy? has to do with money. We have the courthouse and unexpected income. So this could be he made a choice that took him away from his happiness that was sourced in money somehow, or it had to do with money. Or it could be that getting to what he wants would cost him money. If he would have to, you know, get divorced, he might lose money. Or if he would, I don't know, trying to start a new business, it would cost a lot of money. So, I mean, it could go a lot of ways, but I think as far as a relationship goes, I think that he made a choice based on money rather than love. Taurus will do that. Taurus likes money. I have a lot of Taurus in me, I know. So that's where we're going to go ahead and leave this first part of the reading. If you're joining me for the extended version of the reading, you can click on the Vimeo link below in the description box. I'm going to clarify on this tower, the conflict, and the devil, and find out what exactly sort of conflict it is that is your drug of choice, I suppose. And then also how to overcome this obstacle, because whatever's happened here, whatever this decision was, if, you know, say he married someone who had more money, or moved away, you know, to a job where he made more money and left someone that he loved behind, or, you know, whatever it is, he regrets it. So we're going to find out in the extended the energy to embrace to overcome that. How does he fix this? And then we'll also ask, once he embraces that energy, what will the outcome be? So I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I'm really excited for all the healing. This seems like it's happening in your life, Taurus. And I appreciate you stopping by to listen to your reading. Happy New Year.